Hello everybody, I'm back. We will continue with our second activity of the day, okay? So for that, let's look at the following video. Okay, that's our reading for today, Rudolf Nureyev. But before that, I have some questions for you. What do you wish to be when you grow up? Can you imagine yourself as a ballet dancer or a scientist? How would you reach your dream if you have no money? Please go to your optional pages or additional pages on your English skills section. Again, write your name, for example, Valeria, today's date, April 20th, and if you want to, you can copy the three questions and then answer them, or only write 1, 2, and 3 and write your answers. Then I will ask you to answer these two. Write your prediction about what adventures do you think Rudolph faced. That means that if he had trouble to be a ballet dancer, if it was easy for him to be, what things does he have to deal with? Please stop the video, write your answers, and then we will continue with the reading. Okay, ready? We will continue. Let's see. Sorry, wait a little bit. There we are.
Rudolf Nureyev, Dancing to a Dream, 1938 to 1993. Major Hamid Nureyev stood in the snow. He waited for the train that would bring his wife, Farida, and their 3 daughters to Moscow. It was March 1938. Hamid had been in Moscow for a month already. He was working at his new job in the army, trying to find a place for his family to live. Finally, the train pulled into the station. Hamid watched eagerly as the passengers got off, but he did not see Farida or his daughters. Disappointed, he turned away. Suddenly, he heard the voice of his daughter, Lilia. "Papa, Papa, come quickly!" He turned and saw her standing in the doorway of the train. Her sisters, Rasida and Rosa, stood behind her. Hamid hurried onto the train. There, he found Farida with a tiny bundle in her arms. She smiled up at him. "The baby came early, but he's fine." "The baby was born on the train?" he asked. Farida nodded. "He was in a hurry," she said. They named the baby Rudolph. His sisters called him Rudy. The family stayed together in Moscow for only a short time. A war was coming, so Hamid was sent far away. Rudy and his mother and sisters left Moscow. They went to live in the small town of Ufa, 800 miles away. Times were hard for many families during the war. Rudy shared a one-room apartment with his sisters, his mother, the family dog, and other relatives. It was cold, and there was not enough to eat. Rudy and his sisters were often hungry, so their mother would try to distract them. She told stories and sang to them. Rudy danced with his sisters as his mother sang. It was fun, and it helped them stay warm. When Rudy was old enough, he started school. He had no shoes. His only coat had belonged to his sister. Other children laughed at him, and he made few friends. It was not fun for him. But there was one thing he loved about school. There, he could hear more music and learn how to dance. Each day, the children learned Russian folk dances at school. Rudy danced barefoot and jumped and twirled in time to the music. It helped him forget his hunger and the icy cold weather. His sisters told their mother Rudy was the best dancer in the school. Farida looked at her small son. If only he could see some professional dancers, she thought. How happy he would be! Amazingly, there was a theater in the small town of Ufa. There, people could go to see ballet and hear opera. Farida longed to take her children to see these performances, but tickets were expensive. They needed to save for food and clothing. When Rudy was 7 years old, a dance group came to Ufa for a special New Year's Eve performance. Farida wished her children could go. She had an idea. She bought a ticket for herself, then gathered her children around her. I am an honest woman, she told them, but this once I will do something dishonest. We will all go to the ballet. She explained how she would hide little Rudy under her wide coat. Then the girls could slip into the theater with the large crowd there. Farida hoped no one would notice or ask them for tickets. It was not honest, but Farida wanted to give her children the chance to see the famous dancers and hear the live orchestra. It was the only way she knew. It worked. Rudy held his breath under his mother's coat. She gave her ticket to the usher. Soon, they were in the crowded, dark room. They were joined by Rudy's sisters. They all stood along the back wall. The ballet began. Rudy was enchanted. He knew right there that he wanted to be a dancer. When Rudy was 10, a ballet teacher from Moscow offered to teach him for free. His father was not happy. He did not want his son to be a dancer. He wanted his son to study medicine or engineering. But Rudy learned quickly. After a year or so, he needed a more advanced teacher. He was so good that when the lead dancer in Ufa's ballet group got injured, Rudy filled in at the last minute. At 17, Rudy got into the Vaganova Academy in Leningrad, a very good dance school. He immediately started taking extra classes. He worked all night to learn steps and strengthen his muscles. He listened to recordings of famous ballets. When he graduated, 2 of the world's most famous ballet companies offered him contracts. In 1961, Rudy was the first Russian artist to leave the country when it was forbidden. He spent the rest of his life dancing all over the world. When he was no longer able to dance, he taught others. He directed many productions. He even designed costumes. He died in Paris in 1993 at the age of 54. Born on a moving train, Rudy was always in a hurry. He came from a tiny town in the far, cold reaches of Russia. but he became one of the most famous dancers in the world. With talent, dedication, and determination, Rudolf Nureyev worked hard to be the best. He made his lifelong dream come true.
Okay, we have finished with the reading. Did you enjoy it? Do you remember your questions, your predictions? Were your predictions correct? Did you write something similar or really different? Okay, as you know, we have the check of understanding. We have some questions about each page and the reading. For example, the first one says, what did the Nureyev family move to the city? Why? Remember what's the meaning of why? A reason, right? So what you are going to do is, instead of writing, you are going to underline the answer on your book. Check. Here says that his father was in Moscow. So here says Hamid, Rudolph's father, had to be in Moscow for a month already. He was working at his new job in the army. So that's the first answer. Why did the family have to move to Moscow? Because his father was there. So take your red color or any other color that I can see and underline your answers on each page, okay? When you finish that, take a picture of each page and send them to me. Okay, on the second page, the questions are, why did the family have to break apart? Why did they have to separate? His father went to a place, remember? Second one says, why didn't Rudy like going to school? Remember, the picture can tell you or can help you to have an idea. Underline your answer. Next page says, what was Farida's idea? What did the mother do so her children could see the ballet dance? How did Rudy discover he wanted to be a dancer? Next page. Why was Rudy's father not happy? What was Rudy's decision that his father don't like? Remember? Where did Rudy go at the age of 17? What did he do there? And the last page, what happened in 1961? What did Rudy do after he could no longer dance? Okay, remember that he was not able to keep dancing, but he do something else, okay? And our grammar check, sorry, you have to circle all the proper nouns on this page. Remember, proper nouns are the words that name person, place, things, or animals, and they are written with exactly capital letter. To finish the reading, we are going to do a nice activity. You have to retell the story with drawings that represent iconic moments in Nureyev's life. What does that mean? Important events on his life. Try to be as detailed as possible. You are going to take a sheet of paper, you are going to fold it and cut it in half. There you will have your book. You will do a book. You will have some colors and you will make your own storybook, okay? And finally, for homework, you will answer the next page. The check for understanding, read the statements and connect them to the reason. The second part on the bottom page, read each statement, then write a check mark, okay? By the ones only that are true. You don't have to do anything to the ones that are false. The last part, read the sentences, write what happened after each event. Remember to take a picture of all your works. Please change the name with your name and today's short date. and remember to send them to me before 6 p.m. Okay? So that's it for today. I hope that you like it. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye bye.